Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, a new strain of bird flu kills 2 more in China's business capital, Shanghai, bringing to 5 the number of deaths attributed to the H7N9 virus. 4 of the deaths occurred in the commercial hub, while the other was reported in the neighboring province of Zhejiang on Wednesday. Chinese authorities are trying to determine how the new variety of bird flu infects people. They say there's no evidence yet of human-to-human transmission. At number 8, Facebook announces a new smartphone user interface for Android, calling it Facebook Home. Facebook shies away from calling it a new user interface, describing Facebook Home as, quote, a new category of experiences. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the thinking behind Facebook Home is to put people first instead of apps. The Home UI consists of 3 main parts: the cover feed, chat heads, and apps. And at number 9, disgraced U.S. cyclist Lance Armstrong scraps plans to enter a swim race in Texas after objections from the sport's global governing body. Armstrong, who was banned for life from cycling because of doping, hoped to compete in the U.S. Masters swimming event in Austin. Swimming's governing body, FINA, opposes Armstrong's participation, saying he should be barred from competing under anti-doping regulations. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. The international version of my book, From Bin Laden to Facebook, launched in Singapore this week. Catherine Visconti reports.
Social media are just social networks on steroids. Facebook connects more than 1 billion people globally, and it is now a source of danger.
Today, even terrorists are turning to Facebook. Terrorists use the social networking site to post proof-of-life videos, crowdsource ransom, and video blog about ideas. Rappler CEO Maria Ressa's latest book, From Bin Laden to Facebook, tells the gripping story of a 3-person news team abducted by the Abu Sayyaf and how Ressa managed the crisis team that rescued them. Ressa shows the social networks of the terrorists behind the kidnapping and how she used her team's social network to work against them.
Because if you see the way it spreads, you can also deconstruct it to use it for good.
From Bin Laden to Facebook launches in Singapore this week, with Ressa debuting it on TV, at book signings, and at speaking engagements. A Kindle and hardcover version of the book will follow on Amazon.com at the end of April. This is the first time the book is being sold outside the Philippines, and international audiences are quick to ask how they can use the power of social networks. At the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, international scholars say government officials must use the networks to check the pulse of society and pick up on what the public wants.
So I think the main takeaway for me is that the politicians should learn the language of social media.
If we as a government, and I'm talking about India for instance, can tap on this huge social network that's happening and this bubbling undercurrent of emotional movement and connectivity which is happening between people, well then I'm sure it's going to be a revolution waiting to happen.
Ressa tells the group that while governments would be foolish to try to control social media, they would be even more foolish not to use it. Her book's broader message is that mapping out networks can help officials and journalists map out solutions. Catherine Visconti, Rappler, Singapore.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page that crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories which have gotten the most votes on their mood meter, the 10 stories that have affected Filipinos in the last 24 hours. If we take a look today, the story that has gotten the most number of votes has to do with the offshore trust accounts of the Marcoses. Philippines to probe offshore Marcos trusts. 52% inspired, 24% happy, 7% angry. Lots of stories read off to the side. Binay defends 4 of them being in government, 23% annoyed, 3% afraid, and 65% angry. And as well as another political one, Cebu Church Group backs 8 Senate, 6 House bets, 92% angry. Red dominating the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Friday, April 5, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.